refresher. Doubling up zones or stacking zones against a defense that's running cover two can be extremely effective because it puts a defensive player in a bind. With the bend concept here that we're talking about, it puts the outside linebacker, in this case the will linebacker, in a bind. Right now he's being high load. He's got to choose one receiver or the other, and that basically leaves the other receiver wide open. Now, talking about the routes, the two primary routes. The number one receiver, or the receiver closest to the sideline there, he's going to take a hard release inside and run an under route at a diagonal angle, similar to the angle that he runs his slant at once he breaks, but he's going to start at that angle. And it should take him slightly underneath the outside linebacker or the will linebacker's initial alignment. Now the second receiver, or the slot receiver, is going to run a 12-yard in and break back towards the opposite sideline. And the additional receiver we bring in to increase the size of the passing window is the tailback. And all he's going to do is flare out to the strong side to slightly pull that mic out a little bit, because he's normally going to match the number 3 receiver. And if 3 goes the other way, strong in this case to the right, then he's got to go look to match somebody on that side, which will increase the size of the passing window where we're trying to run our bend concept to the left here. Now on with the post-snap read for the quarterback. First, he's going to keep his eyes in the middle of the field, or if he feels comfortable with it, he can even slightly look to the right to further pull that mic out to the right away from the concept. He's only going to do this for 3/4 to a second. And he takes his eyes directly back to the will linebacker. And he watches for the will linebacker or the outside linebacker to do one of two things. The first thing is to stay with and sync with that deep end route being run by the slot receiver. In that case, he's going to look to throw it to the diagonal route, and the route that's being run by the number one receiver. As soon as that receiver crosses the body of the outside linebacker, the will backer, so he has enough room to catch the ball right at the beginning of the reception area and get upfield after the catch. Now, the second thing that the will linebacker could do that the quarterback's looking for is for him to take that under route or the diagonal route and leave that deep end. In that case, the quarterback's going to further sell that under route and make the will suck up on it a little bit more and follow the route by bringing his shoulder and following the route a little bit with his eyes as well. Now, at the same time, that number 2 receiver, the slot receiver, once he makes his break and starts to cut in towards the opposite sideline or the middle of the field, he should be able to see that the will linebacker has taken the other route, the diagonal or the under route, and he should begin to slow down and settle into the throwing window. It may even happen that he ends up curling up after he runs the in a little bit. At this point, the quarterback should take his focus back to the deep end route being run by number 2 and rifle him in the ball.